going to show you how to multiply these. We're going to get rid of the parentheses by multiplying. There are a couple of different ways to do this, and everybody's preference is different. So I'm going to show you both ways to do it so that you can decide what you like. The first thing I'm going to do is distribute. So this 3y has to go with everything inside here. So I'm going to multiply. So 3 times 7 is 21. And I have a y here and 2 y's here, so that's a total of 3 y's. Then you distribute the 3y to the negative 5. So 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. I have 1 y here and 1 y here, so that's a total of 2 y's. And then you distribute it to the positive 4. So 3 times 4 is a positive 12. I have a y here and no y here, so that's just 1 y. Now I'm going to distribute the negative 2 to everything. So negative 2 times 7 is negative 14, and then I've got a y squared. So I'm going to put that with my y squared. So you want to line everything up according to their letters and exponents. Negative 2 times negative 5 is a positive 10, and there's a y. So that goes with the y's. And then negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. Now you add your columns. So for my y cubes, I have 21 of those. For my y squared, a negative 15 and then another negative 14 is a total of 29 negatives. For my y's, 12 plus 10 is a positive 22. And then bring down the negative 8, and that is the answer. So that's one way of doing it, using the distributive property. The other way is called a Punnett square. So I'm going to take the first one and write it horizontally, leaving some space between the terms like that. The second one I'm going to write vertically, 7y squared minus 6y plus 3. And I'm going to draw a rectangle under that. And on the top, I'm going to separate those with a vertical line. And on the sides, separate each one of those with a horizontal line. And then I start multiplying. So it goes up and over. So 2 times 7 is 14. I've got a y here and 2 here, so that's 3 y's. Up and over. So this is what I'm doing when I say up and over. Just up and over. Okay? So negative 5 times 7 is negative 35. And then I have 2 y's there, y squared. So on the second row, up and over, 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. And I have 1 y here and 1 here, so that's 2 y's. And then up and over, negative 5 times negative 6 is a positive 30. And I have a y. Up and over for the next row. 2 times 3 is 6, and I have a y. Negative 5 times 3 is negative 15. Okay, so then these y squareds can go together. If they have the same exponent with the same variable with the same exponent, they can go together. Okay, so I have a 14y cubed. For my y squareds, negative 35 and a negative 12 is a total of negative 47 of those. For my y's, 30 plus 6 is a positive 36, and then I've got a negative 15. So that's just another way of doing how we did the first problem. It's totally up to you on how you want to do that. So now the next one, since you're probably the least familiar with the Punnett square, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So 7v plus 6, and then 2v squared minus 4v minus 3. If you don't like this method, you can go back and review and rewind your video and look at the first method that we did. Separate with vertical and horizontal lines. Start multiplying up and over. So 7 times 2 is 14, and I've got 1v here and 2 here, so that's 3 v's. 6 times 2 is 12, and I have a v squared. 7 times negative 4 is negative 28, and I have one v here and one here, so that's two v's. 6 times negative 4 is negative 24, and I've got a v there. 7 times negative 3 is negative 21, and I have a v there. 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. So I'm going to highlight my diagonals so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so in each diagonal I have a 14v cubed. For my v squareds, negative 28 and 12 is a negative. Now the signs are different, so you got to subtract. The reason I said it was negative is because 28 is bigger. 28 take away 12 is 16. For the yellow one, the v's, I have a negative 24 and another negative 21. That's a total of 45 negatives. And then I have a negative 18. Okay. Let me remind you of what the distributive property is for that one in case you choose to do distributive. 7 times 2 is 14. V times v squared, that's a total of 3 v's. Go to the negative 4. 7 times negative 4 is negative 28. I have 2 v's there, so that's v squared. Go to the next one. 7 times negative 3 is negative 21, and I have a v. Then distribute the 6. 6 times 2 is 12 and v squared, so I'm going to put that with my v squareds. 6 times negative 4 is negative 24, and that's a v, so I'm going to put that with my v's. And 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. That's going to go at the end. So for my v cubes, I've got 14 of those. For my v squared, I have a negative 16. For my v's, I have a total of negative 45 of those, and then negative 18. As you can see, it does not matter which method you prefer to use. If you do your math correctly, you're going to get the same answer whether or not you use the rectangles or the distributive property.